exercise to contact here and now as I move into the guided session. It may be helpful to close your eyes. If you're not comfortable doing so, that's fine. Just rest your gaze with a soft focus a few feet in front of you. Bring your awareness inward as you allow your mind to join with the breath for a few breaths. I invite you to cast your mind backwards to the moment when you woke up this morning. Just reflect and bring that moment to mind. See if you can step inside that moment again. See the world as you're just waking up this morning. You call to mind what you were feeling. Maybe you had some thoughts that came to mind. Maybe there's just that warmth, fuzzy, half-dream, half-waking state. Or perhaps it was a frantic alarm rushing to mind your to-do list. See if you can just crawl back in bed. Notice, what were you aware of when you woke up this morning? There's a quality in your being. So you can just roll the tape forward a few minutes as you get out of bed. And just look around in your memory, taking stock of how you were approaching your day. What were you paying attention to as you began your day? Perhaps there were thoughts moving ahead in time. Perhaps of this training, things that you had to accomplish, contacts with clients. Perhaps you were thinking about a particular relationship. Perhaps your mind was quite empty. Notice, what were you aware of in those first few minutes of your day? You now call to mind the drive here, or the bus ride, or the bike ride, or the walk. See if you can crawl inside that memory. Noting what you were attending to as you were en route to the office. You paying attention to the scenery, people passing by? Or was your awareness more turned inwards? Just notice quality, texture, and content of your mind, mood, as you were moving to the office. Now we're going to roll the tape forward a bit more to actually arriving here. You stepped in the door. What were you aware of your mind doing in terms of thoughts, feelings, impulses as you moved into this space? Perhaps you were thinking ahead into this training, to your agenda items for the day. Perhaps there's something going on in your personal life that kept your attention. Something that's happened in the past or that you're planning on happening in the future. And now just roll the tape forward a bit more. You're sitting in the seat that you're now sitting in. Taking this breath that you are now breathing. And as a gesture of arriving here and now more fully, I want to invite you to imagine that every strand of thought that connects to the past, or every strand of thought that moves ahead into the future, or every thought that moves out to someplace other than here, I want you to imagine is attached to you like a thread, like a strand moving through time and space. And that in a gesture of willingness to arrive here and now, I want you to imagine you could just gently unhook each strand and let it fall away. And as you visualize yourself unhooking each strand, there's a sense of arriving more fully with a deeper embodiment as each strand falls away. Your mind settles a bit more in the here and now experience. Become more aware of the sounds in this moment. The feel of the air. Quality of your embodiment. Just take a moment, just appreciate this moment here and now. Shift a bit. I want you to imagine from this moment here and now, moving forward in your life in time. From this moment, you strive diligently and effectively to live with greater psychological flexibility. So that from this moment forward, more often than not, the choices you are making are deeply serving core values that you strive to live by. From this moment forward, you greet the challenges of fear and anxiety, worry and depression as opportunities to deepen in your wisdom of liberation. Things that are challenging, you step towards and greet, clear of the importance of meeting those tasks, awake to the challenges that show up within, and strive open-heartedly and with open eyes to meet your life fully, head on, with your values as a guide. imagine what your life be like a year from now, living fully and deeply by your values, principles that you most wish to guide you. How would your relationships shift? Your attention to work. The balance of the different roles that you play in your life. How might they be different? Just imagine you live your best life. 10 years from now, what might be happening? What might be some of the fruition of your clear purpose and your courageous activity? Contact with the texture of a life well lived, how that will continue to blossom and grow, deepen into a ripe old age. Now imagine that you're at your 100th birthday party, celebrating a long and rich life, and around you are gathered all the important people with whom you shared your life. Because this is happening in your mind and imagination, you can bring people who might not be dead. They can gather around you. And as they rise to honor the life you lived and the example you set and the values you lived by, what might they say guided your life? What would they say was important to you? And how you demonstrated that? Just take a moment to linger in this space, being honored by the people closest to you, who really see what you strive to create, what you have created in your best life. Just take that in. Keeping in mind those values, those guideposts, your actions, and allowing the visualization to dissolve. Consider what might you do in the next week in an area of your life that's important to you, that might move you a little closer to one of these values. Maybe something that you've been putting off, or something that has been lingering there. Or perhaps it's something that you already have well underway, that you just want to commit attention and appreciation towards. But if you were to begin to deepen your actions in service of these values, what might you do this week? That lightly, letting the whole thing dissolve, bringing your awareness back to your breath. Allowing allowing the breath to anchor you again in this present moment. Becoming more aware of the embodied experience right here and now. When you're ready, I'd like you to turn to somebody near you, groups of 2 or 3. Just each person share, just for a few moments, a few minutes, what showed up for you. Whenever you're ready. Move your toes and fingers. Turn to somebody near you and just share a bit about what that was like, what showed up, have some of your values.
Yeah.
Hi, Tyson.
Hi.
And can I get anybody
Welcome
some
back.
coffee once I can? Jarrell?
Is there coffee made?
Okay, I'll go make some.
Hi.
Yeah, crawling back into bed in my mind was nice.
That was nice.
It's really nice.
So, I'm reading this book called The Big
Last night, it was like
It's about...
Mary had a thing up at the Star House last night and went way late, so she stayed up there. It was like the first night I've slept alone in like since I can remember. So it was interesting. Like it was interesting waking up this morning, turning on lights, and like just doing things a little bit differently. So I was very present with my morning. I felt like just less in the dark.